If you do this, she won't be able to sleep without thinking about you. Female psychology. There's a common misconception that attraction is created by saying the perfect line or using a clever trick. In reality, the strongest attraction is emotional. Long after a conversation ends, people rarely remember every word that was said. They remember how someone made them feel. Female psychology works a little differently than most men expect. While physical attraction can spark interest, emotional curiosity is what keeps a woman thinking about someone long after they've gone home. The goal isn't to manipulate her thoughts, it's to become someone whose presence leaves a lasting emotional impression. Here are the first 7 behaviors that naturally make you unforgettable. 1. End the conversation first. Most men stay until there's nothing left to say. A man who always lingers communicates one thing without realizing it. He has nowhere else to be. Confident men are different. Even when the conversation is going well, they leave first. This creates something psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. People tend to remember unfinished experiences more than completed ones. Instead of giving her emotional closure, you leave a small mystery behind. Imagine you've been laughing together for 20 minutes. Instead of dragging the conversation until it becomes repetitive, simply smile and say, "I have to get going, we'll continue this another time." Now she isn't thinking about how the conversation ended. She's wondering what would have happened if it continued. Curiosity is far more powerful than constant availability. 2. Be fully present when you're together. Many people listen only long enough to prepare their next response. That makes conversations feel mechanical. A memorable man does the opposite. When she's talking, she feels like she's the only person in the room. He notices small details. He remembers the story she told last week. He asks thoughtful follow-up questions instead of changing the subject. Women often associate emotional safety with genuine attention. When someone consistently makes her feel understood instead of merely heard, that emotional experience becomes difficult to forget. Presence is rare, and rare things are remembered. 3. Don't chase every opportunity. Scarcity creates value. This doesn't mean playing childish games or pretending to be busy. It means building a life that doesn't revolve around her. You have work, friends, goals, hobbies, purpose. When your schedule naturally has priorities beyond dating, she senses that your attention has value because it isn't handed out freely. Ironically, the less your happiness depends on her validation, the more attractive you become. Confidence grows from independence. Neediness grows from dependence. People instinctively move toward confidence. 4. Create positive emotional peaks. People remember emotional highs more than ordinary moments. Think about your favorite movie. You probably don't remember every scene. You remember the moments that made you laugh, shocked you, or inspired you. Relationships work similarly. Instead of repeating the same routine conversations every day, create memorable experiences. Share a funny story. Teach her something interesting. Take a spontaneous walk. Try a new coffee shop. Laugh together over something unexpected. These emotional spikes become mental anchors. Later that night, her brain naturally revisits those moments because emotions strengthen memory. She isn't replaying your words. She's replaying how she felt. 5. Stay calm under pressure. Emotional stability is incredibly attractive. When problems appear, many people panic. Others become defensive. Some seek reassurance every few minutes. A calm man stands out immediately. If plans change, he adapts. If someone disagrees with him, he doesn't lose control. If something goes wrong, he solves the problem instead of complaining. This calmness creates emotional security. Women often associate consistency with reliability. A reliable man becomes mentally comforting. And comforting people naturally occupy more space in someone's thoughts. 6. Give genuine compliments that others miss. Most compliments sound identical. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You look amazing. She has probably heard these before. Instead, notice something unique. Maybe she stays kind even when she's stressed. Maybe she remembers everyone's birthday. Maybe she's incredibly passionate when talking about her career. Compliment qualities instead of appearances whenever possible. For example, I like how curious you are. You ask questions most people never think about. This type of compliment feels personal because it reflects observation instead of flattery. People treasure being understood far more than being admired. 7. Become emotionally predictable, not boring. Many men confuse mystery with inconsistency. They disappear for days. Reply randomly. Act interested one week and distant the next. That doesn't create attraction. It creates confusion. Healthy attraction grows when she knows your character, even if she can't predict every move. She knows you'll keep your word. She knows you'll respect her. She knows you won't create unnecessary drama. Ironically, emotional reliability gives you the freedom to be spontaneous in everything else. When trust exists, every surprise feels exciting instead of stressful. Because people don't lose sleep over chaos. They lose sleep thinking about someone who consistently makes life feel better. 8. Leave her with something to think about. Most conversations are completely predictable. People talk about work, traffic, the weather, or what they ate for lunch. By the next day, those conversations are forgotten. Instead, occasionally ask a question that sparks curiosity. For example, what's one dream you've never told anyone? Or, if money wasn't a factor, what would you spend your life doing? Questions like these shift the conversation from surface-level facts to deeper emotions. When someone shares a meaningful part of themselves, the interaction becomes memorable. Even after the conversation ends, she may find herself replaying it in her mind because it made her reflect on something important. People remember those who make them think, not just those who make them talk. 9. Stay calm around attractive women. Many men change their behavior the moment they find a woman attractive. They become nervous. They try too hard to impress. They seek approval with every sentence. A confident man stays consistent. He doesn't place her on a pedestal. He speaks to her with the same respect and confidence he shows everyone else. This communicates something powerful. I value you, but I don't need your validation. Confidence without arrogance is incredibly rare. When a man remains composed instead of desperate, he stands out because he makes the interaction feel natural. Calmness often says more than perfect words ever could. 10. Build a life that excites you. Nothing is more attractive than someone who genuinely enjoys their own life. When your days are filled with purpose, learning, friendships, fitness, or meaningful work, your conversations naturally become more interesting. You're no longer searching for someone to complete your happiness. You're simply inviting someone to share it. Purpose creates energy. Energy creates confidence. And confidence is contagious. People are drawn toward those who seem excited about life because emotions spread from one person to another. If your life feels meaningful, she'll naturally wonder what it would be like to become part of it. 11. Make her feel emotionally safe. Trust isn't built through grand romantic gestures. It's built through consistency. You say what you mean. You keep your promises. You respect boundaries. You don't gossip about private conversations. You don't disappear without explanation. These small behaviors create emotional security. When a woman feels emotionally safe around you, she can relax instead of constantly questioning your intentions. That feeling is rare. And people rarely forget those who make them feel at peace. Often, emotional safety creates deeper attraction than excitement alone. 12. Let silence work for you. Many people fear silence. The moment a conversation pauses, they rush to fill it. Confident people don't. A brief silence isn't awkward unless you make it awkward. Instead of speaking just to avoid quiet moments, stay relaxed. Smile. Maintain comfortable eye contact. Give the conversation room to breathe. This communicates confidence because it shows you're comfortable with yourself. Ironically, silence often increases emotional tension in a positive way. It allows both people to process what was just said. Sometimes the strongest moments in a conversation happen between the words. 13. Never try to impress everyone. Trying to be universally liked usually has the opposite effect. People respect authenticity more than perfection. Have your own opinions. Enjoy your own hobbies. Stand by your values respectfully. You don't need to argue with everyone. But you also don't need to agree with everything simply to gain approval. Someone with healthy self-respect naturally becomes more memorable because they are genuine. Authenticity creates trust. Pretending creates exhaustion. Be yourself consistently, and the right people will appreciate you for who you are. 14. Finish every interaction on a positive note. People often remember the ending more than the beginning. Psychologists call this the peak end rule. If your last few moments together include laughter, appreciation, or a genuine smile, that's often the feeling she'll associate with the entire interaction. Before leaving, say something simple like, "I enjoyed talking with you today." Or, "Take care, I hope your meeting goes well tomorrow." These thoughtful endings leave behind warmth rather than uncertainty. Small moments of kindness have a surprisingly lasting impact. 15. Become the person she naturally respects. Attraction may begin with appearance, but long-term fascination grows from character. Respect is built through discipline, integrity, kindness, emotional control, reliability, purpose. These qualities aren't flashy. They are consistent, and consistency creates trust. Instead of asking yourself, "How do I make her think about me?" ask a better question. How do I become the kind of man people genuinely enjoy being around? Because when you focus on becoming your best self, you stop chasing attention. You naturally attract it. The strongest attraction doesn't come from manipulation, mind games, or pretending to be someone you're not. It comes from creating genuine emotional experiences through confidence, curiosity, kindness, and authenticity. When a woman enjoys your company, feels understood, and sees that you have a meaningful life of your own, she'll often think about you long after you've gone your separate ways. Not because you forced her to, but because you left a positive emotional impression.